What's up guys, Don Juan. So I'm still editing content. I have a lot of footage to go through. Been busy with work, school, helping a buddy move, all that kind of stuff, but I'm going to go over the Excursion right now, show you how the setup works, and kind of let you know how it's been doing, so stay tuned. Mostly the setup's been working great. I had a few minor little tweaks I needed to do. Had one of the lines was barely leaking a little bit of oil. Had to figure out an exhaust leak issue, which I still have. I just haven't fixed yet. I was able to get new wheels and tires, which I need to fix the camber on the front of the truck because I also added a 2-inch leveling kit on the front, and just stuff like that, just a lot of little things. But I'm going to be going through the footage hopefully this weekend, so that's why I wanted to post this video, letting you know that the truck is done and everything for the most part. Have a few parts still to put in, AC condenser, AC compressor. I was so busy with everything else that I just didn't have time to get to it. But let's get to the truck and I'll show you everything that's done right now. So here she is now. Here's the fitment issue I'm talking about right there. So when you put a lift kit, you need to install these little camber caster adjusters. Basically I didn't get around to it. Needed to get the lift put on because these are 35s. It was rubbing a lot worse. It still rubs a little bit, but they still have plenty of life left on the tires, so I'm going to kind of deal with it. I think by adjusting the camber back in as well might give me a little bit more clearance, but you can see that's where it's rubbing right there on the inner fender area, so might be able to adjust that. But yeah, these are 20 by 12 Fuel Mavericks that I got pretty good deal on, used obviously. Some of them have some rash on them, but for this is the rear is completely stock. You can see you got plenty of clearance. I even towed about 7,000 to 8,000 pounds, didn't have any issues, didn't bottom out or anything, worked out pretty good. So we're gonna start right here at the front of the truck. If you could see in between the grill, there goes my oil cooler. And I will get better footage with the grill out. My oil cooler sits right here on the left hand side. You can see that is a Fluidyne. So up here, one issue that I had was this intercooler pipe right here kept blowing off. You can see that it's almost about to pop off again. So I think I'm gonna put the factory one back on. I'm not really happy about that. But essentially, if you guys remember, right here is where your filter housing would sit. So if I put the camera over there, you guys can see the bulletproof diesel plate. And then those two right here, those are the two oil lines that come out. So this is their custom 6-liter plate. It eliminates the oil cooler completely, just like their other plate. The difference with this one is you have to do more tweaks and customizing. It leaves it more open for you to make adjustments versus their standard kit comes with, you know, everything that you need. So essentially what happens is the oil comes out of one of these lines and travels down here underneath the intake. Let me see if I can show you guys. You can see the line right there. There goes the line right there. So it goes down and it pops out right behind the bumper where I have my Hamburger Performance. Let me zoom in. Excuse my ghetto mount setup. I'm planning to remake it with better, like welded and everything later. But anyway, comes out of the engine. Hot oil comes into this oil filter housing, gets fluid, you know, gets filtered through the filter, and this was actually the line that was one of these lines was the one that was slightly leaking. You want the hot oil to go in through here first for filtration, then it comes out of the filter head, cuts across the front of the truck. You might be able to see a line right there. It goes into my oil cooler, goes all the way through, comes out of the oil cooler, goes back underneath the intake again, and then back into the bulletproof diesel billet aluminum plate that is down there. As you can see, I'm still using the factory fuel filter bowl. It's not really designed to use it, but what I did was I cut, let me see if I can get the angle right. So right here, you can see this is where the oil filter housing bolts up to. Actually not bolts up, but it's like welded to. So I took my grinder and I just made a clean cut all the way down and separated the two, and then I just sanded this down with the sanding thing on my grinder to make it so not so sharp, and it works perfect. Bolts right in, no issues. You can see it underneath there. I did do the 35, or I'm sorry, the Blue Spring mod, But yeah, it works perfect on stock form. There's with the lines are hard lines, so with them being connected and everything, you don't have to worry about any kind of issues with the thing moving around or anything. So far, I mean, I've driven well over 500 miles and it's been good. Anyway, upgraded aluminum radiator that was already there. I have to put the fan shroud back on. I just haven't been, I was trying to make sure everything was good before I went all the way through. Really hard to tell the difference, but that is a 7.3 fan clutch with the bulletproof diesel adapter. And then we also have underneath here, you can see the supply line for the turbo right there. That's also a bulletproof diesel adapter, and that is a 6AN. So this is my new oil supply for the turbo. Works great, haven't had any issues. Full 4-inch turbo back, that was already there as well. And the IPR valve got cleaned and all that stuff. But yeah, everything turned out great. I did the flush. I'm running the ELC coolant. You can actually see in the container, it's the red coolant. It's been running perfectly fine. So far so good. You can actually see the oil cooler line, or it's right there, where they travel. So basically what I did was I went around underneath the intake, underneath the ficum, and then popped it underneath the intake, actual intake box. But I want to get a new intake to be able to eliminate that. Haven't decided about the turbo setup, if I'm gonna put a bigger turbo or not. I really don't want to go too crazy. I just wanted this a dedicated like tow vehicle, and it's been running great, so I may not mess with it unless it becomes like an actual problem. Just got to get the exhaust leak taken care of. But that's pretty much how she sits. So this weekend we'll get new front shocks put in, because the passenger side one, the bushing's gone, the driver's side bushing's almost completely gone. We'll put the adjustment, the MOG and the Moog, or however you pronounce it. They're the little caster camber bolt things that go into the hub. We'll get those installed with the shocks this weekend, and hopefully I know that'll take care of the caster camber, but hopefully it'll take care of the other stuff too. With the rubbing, maybe a little bit. I don't want to get new tires just yet, because like I said, these have decent meat on them. They're not great, but they're decent. So but yeah, that's pretty much where we're at now. So like I was saying, the footage will be coming out soon. Just stick with me. Just been very busy, but I'm going to start editing that. It'll be the whole tear down process, doing the head studs, all that stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.